r/AskReddit Introverted shy men of Reddit, what is the best way to ask you out? Personally, I have zero ability to pick up on hints or flirting of any kind. I generally don't even realize if something I'd saying or doing could be construed as flirting. My wife took the direct route, by getting me in a private situation and kissing me. That was direct enough for me to figure out. Anything short of that or coming straight out and asking me to take her on a date, and I probably would never have realized how she felt. I'm dense like that, in some ways. I'm not sure how much girls like to be courted before being asked out, but I think I speak for like 90% of guys when I say that nothing would make me happier than a woman coming up to me, and straight up asking me out on a date. Like, literally, hey, would you wanna go on a date sometime? Giving shy guys hints is almost completely useless, because even when we do notice what might be hints, the shyness comes in and convinces us that you're just being nice or whatever. Be blunt. We're like onions, talk with us, learn about us, and invest your time in us, then ask us if we want to go get something to eat sometime. Most introverts are that way because they got hurt too much, not necessarily by love but just in general when we opened up. We also generally have some level of low self-esteem and confidence in ourselves. Once you break through all that, you have a friend at the very least for life. Please don't be subtle, but don't be pushy about it. I am extremely slow to catch on to social cues as I just don't care enough and have missed quite a few dates because I wasn't aware that a girl was into me. Friends and even family have pointed them out after the fact, but I always assumed that the girls were just being nice. Make sure you are to the point, and if they need time to respond then don't take it personal. Tell me you like me, put your name and number in my phone, and also take hold of my arm and write your name and number on it. Continue holding my arm. Don't worry, by now I will be hypnotized, extremely relaxed, with wet eyes, flushed cheeks, and huge pupils. Make eye contact. Tell me again that you like me, stand closer, say it again, and ask me to call. Go home now, because I am yours and you are mine and we're together, you and me, forever. When I call, ask if you can come over. Try to be calm about it, not too aggressive in your approach. An introvert such as myself prefers something where we aren't put on the spot, cause often, an introvert also has social issues such as having a hard time speaking to new people or not understanding some social cues. I'm not saying all introverts do, but the good majority of us do. Give us the straightaway instead of hinting at things, don't beat around the bush about it. This applies to men of all sexualities and orientations. If you're trying to not put the guy on the spot, get his number first, then ask via text. Asking and being asked in an open social setting can feel pretty intense and awkward when it feels like everyone around is watching to see how things unfold. Asking via text allows the guy space to process and respond without feeling pressured to respond a certain way, especially if he wants to enthusiastically accept, but feels like doing so wouldn't be acceptable out in the open. Hints don't get very far, because even if we're often actively looking the other way. Last girl I dated, she was like, sidling up to me a lot, and I thought like, for example, he was stumbling into NE because the train we were on was rocky, so I'd move away to give her some space. She later told me what she was doing and she wasn't sure if I wasn't seeing it, or just wasn't interested. I was very much interested, but didn't think she would be. Had a girl sit on the bus beside me and slap me on the knee, which prompted me to say, "Do I know you?" She replied with, "You do now." I walked off the bus with her number. I tried texting her once without a response. I had been meaning to call her but just haven't, and it's been about a month now. I feel like I've left it too long and blown it. Regardless, it was an incredible boost of confidence. It felt great. Have a mutual friend drop a hint. That's how I met my wife. I was playing some tabletop with her roommates and met her briefly, but she wasn't feeling well, so she didn't stick around much. I thought she was cute but felt she didn't have much interest. About a week later her roommate asks if I want to come over again. Alex wants to see you. In my head I'm thinking, the girl I barely spoke with wants to see me again. Why? Well, we got married last December. Don't play games or hard to get or the guessing game or any of that chat. That's not somebody we want to be with and it's a turn off. Plus it's very hard to pick up on those stupid things. Best way? Just be direct. Something like, hey, that place that opened by your house, you ever been there? Why don't we go get something and see how it goes? Just be direct. You never know when it could turn into the best decision you ever made for your life. Leave the room and text me. That way we can act like nothing happened either way and make jokes about how some loser asked me out over text, negative, or how this really weird person I know wants my genitals and I've never done this but maybe I should just shag them and never call again, affirmative. If we aren't friends then maybe pull me aside and ask me plainly like it's if I want to work this weekend. They would need to be very direct and specific, like a robot in Asimov fiction. Move the conversation smoothly towards something you want to do with her. For example, if you want to go on a date with her, mention casually you want to try out food at a new restaurant but tell her you would like company but your friends are busy. Be sure to know beforehand what type of food she likes. So that way you mention the restaurant you're going is about that type of food. Same applies to other activities like going out to the movies. Profit. In all honesty, just be direct about it. The biggest you'd run into trying to ask a shy man out is the fact that he will not assume you're flirting with him until he's absolutely sure you are. I think this goes for guys in general. We don't want to risk ruining a relationship with someone by flirting back, only to realize that the other person wasn't hitting on you. We need to be 100% sure and the only way to be 100% sure is for you to literally say it to our face. I'm not an introverted shy man but my boyfriend is. Introverted to the point that he wouldn't talk to anyone until he was around 19, he had many facial surgeries due to birth defects. I got to know him through work, started texting, and sent him a song I liked called I Think I'm in Love with You or something similar. It was a lo-fi hip-hop mix and we both like that kind of music. We were awkward at first but it worked out, just hit our 1 year. The best way is to be direct. You're most likely an adult, and adults talk about how they feel. To put things in perspective, there were a few researchers who made a test where someone had to tap out the rhythm of a song. Everyone that was tapping the rhythm heard the song that they themselves were playing, but none of those that were listening could guess correctly. I believe it's mostly the same with hinting that you like someone. It's clear to you, but not to the other person. In a honesty, movie date. Little conversation stress before the movie and afterwards, you have a great conversation topic to branch off from into more personal topics. For example, go see Iron Man and chat about how self-destructive Tony Stark is and how you may or may not be able to relate to his method of dealing with PTSD. Alternatively, you watch Game of Thrones and grow to hate/love the chat depending on the episode. If you are honest to me and at least mention you want to go somewhere with me, that will be enough of a hint. And amp, number X200B. If you don't know me and see me on the street, don't just stare at me waiting for me to get the hint. I will freak out and will wonder for eternity if you're gonna dump me or not. Come and say hi, I will do my best to lead on the conversation so we'll exchange numbers and meet up eventually. Avoid things like going out for coffee where the enjoyment of the experience is solely based on our ability to hold a conversation. A lot of the time we suck at holding a conversation, especially with someone new. Instead suggest something we can do together, an activity, something we can talk about as it happens. Once we're more familiar with you, we'll open up and conversation will flow easier, but until then, make it easy for us. I'm kinda bad at explaining, but here I go. I think other introverts and I live in our heads. Try to speak to the guy's brain. Start with an interesting conversation. Then being a little flirty. It takes time, we kinda suck socially, but after befriending our thoughts we would probably be comfortable enough to ask you out instead. Being direct without stating your intentions might actually scare us and we would probably think it's a prank. There's no best way, answer's gonna be the same no matter how you do it, unless you are a total ass about it. The only other thing that matters is time. Like if you ask someone out before they know you well enough or are ready, then they might say no. So timing could be a thing. I never had a girl ask me for my number, and just because of how she asked me I changed my decision. Heck, the more nervous they are about it, the more endearing it is. Go against your assumptions. He doesn't like you? He's gay? He's a player? He's never had a girlfriend, essentially zero experience socializing with girls he knows or even suspects are interested. He's stupid, does not know what flirting is, he's heard about it, still has, yet, to Google it, and he's a virgin. Not what you were expecting, right? Just grab his hand and be stupid, playful, and weird. It's a learning experience for both of you. Thanks for watching this auto-generated video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. I upload videos like this one daily. I put a lot of time into developing this video generator, but if there have been errors, please tell me in the comments below. Also leave me a link to another thread you would like to see a video about. Have a great day, Alex.